All right, guys, we're back with part 2 of our Homesteaders of Iowa conversation about the event that's going to be held April 4th, 5th, and 6th. And make sure if you're on this one and you didn't see our part 1, make sure to watch that. It's going to have we'll have the links in this video as well, but make sure to watch that video as we cover a lot in that as well. And we're going to cover a ton in this one as well. So Randy, we're going to start with you. Could you tell us about the group's mission and how it serves the homesteading community in Iowa?
Okay, we have a mission statement, so let me just make sure I read this right. Our mission statement is to offer a family-friendly environment to interact with like-minded people who are interested in homesteading's self-sufficient lifestyle with the willingness to learn and support one another. So that's kind of what our Expo here, conference is about, is to share knowledge. We have met so many interesting people, like-minded people in putting on these events. And it's I don't know, it just warms your heart to know that you're not alone. There's other people out here just like you who want to learn, and we just try to facilitate that approach.
Absolutely. All right, Linda, for individuals considering a move to Iowa and those curious about the state's lifestyle, what do you believe makes Iowa a special place to live and engaging in homesteading activities?
I really like Iowa.
Yeah.
Of course, I grown up in Iowa, I lived in Iowa, but a fast enough pace to make things interesting, but not so fast that you get lost in the crowd. So neighbors help neighbors so many times. We had a tornado hit us in 2012, and people were just showing up to help. And last year, a tornado went through our area again, but it knocked our beehives over, but that was it. But people were showing up to help the other neighbors. So it's just a friendly place to be.
We talk about Iowa Nice a lot on this channel, so it definitely is a real thing here. All right, Teresa, can you share a memorable moment or achievement from your homesteading journey that has a significant impact on you and your family?
Well, I think for me, it's been several years back, learning how to can was very scary for me. And I think there's a lot of people out there maybe that feel that. Like, it just seems very intimidating. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to make your family sick, or, a lot of us are intimidated by a pressure canner, I'll be honest. And I'm sure there's others that feel that way. But just moving past that and learning how to do it, it's had a significant impact in our house, because, just the pride you take in seeing all the things that you have canned, and what's in that, and what you're feeding your family.
Yeah, I know our family, we haven't pressure canned, so we'll have to reach out about that. But Sean, growing up on a farm, what are some valuable lessons you learned about homesteading agriculture that have shaped your approach to life and business today?
Growing up on a farm, hard work. Most kids today in the world don't even know what hard work's like. Getting up and baling hay all day long. Not the easy way with big rounds either.
Yeah.
Having to put the bale on the trailer, stack it right. The ethical part of farming, raising livestock, learning how to process your own food. Learned at a young age how to butcher a cow and a pig, to following over when we owned our own farm before we come to the camp. We almost 100%, then all of our meat came from the farm. Not running to the grocery store because we had it available to us.
Yeah.
As far as our business, we've applied a lot of it to teaching our sons, about the dedication and the hard work, what it takes to succeed, and putting God first in everything that we do. Just had this discussions last Saturday with my sons. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you, for your future. You're young. You've got a life ahead of you. This is something I'm trying to leave for you. And be successful. Stay in it even when it gets hard. Because homesteading is not easy. It's expensive. Nothing's cheap right now.
Yeah.
And you just have to gradually work hard and be diligent to get to that position.
All right, Randy, we're going to go back to you. First off, make sure to watch that first interview, the part 1. I know I mentioned in the beginning, and also if you're moving to Iowa, make sure to reach out, call, text, or email. But Randy, as an active member of the homesteading community, what advice would you give newcomers who are interested in starting their own homestead or getting involved in beekeeping or foraging?
Okay, I know it can seem overwhelming if you're just starting out in homesteading. And I guess I might suggest that you don't be in a hurry. Just take one or two areas that you're interested in and work on those. Check with neighbors, others in the community, in the homesteading group, to learn and answer questions that you might have. I've seen a lot of questions on our Facebook page where somebody will ask a question from the community as to how do you do this or how do you do that, and it's becoming very active, and we like that others are answering the questions and helping them grow their knowledge. So it's going to be, like Sean said, going to be a lot of hard work, and anything that's worthwhile, you should all expect to have some hard work to go with it.
Yeah.
So just stay the course, and you'll endure, and it'll come out. You'll learn as you go along.
Do you have any advice on beekeeping?
It's all a nice idea. Beekeeping is fun. What I do in my business with bird construction and working with the bees, being outdoors, you kind of learn and you see what nature really is, and it's very interesting. I guarantee you won't get bored. Beekeeping is as hard as any other endeavor in homesteading, but you got to take the first step. The old saying, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step.
Yeah.
So just get started with it. Again, go to your neighbors, those that know about bees, and get their advice. And don't expect it to be success right overnight. It takes time, and I think Sean can back that up. Most any new beekeeper he's going to lose. He's going to lose some bees. That's just how it is. But you gain knowledge, and again, that's why the homesteading event is here, is to help advance the knowledge in bees or foraging. And Sean is an excellent forager. I wouldn't even begin to try what he does. I'd eat the wrong things for sure. So just keep at it, I guess.
Yep. All right, Linda, could you share a memorable moment or achievement from your homesteading endeavors that has left a lasting impact on you?
Well, the most lasting impact was last year's Expo because I was just blown away. I was blown away with all the people and how they were so much like what I was thinking. They had knowledge, and when they didn't have knowledge, they weren't afraid to ask. And I was just blown away with the kindness and the concern and like-mindedness.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, Teresa, balancing a busy schedule with homesteading and your family and community involvement can be challenging. How do you manage your time effectively and stay motivated?
I'm a very organized person, so that's huge for me. I have lists everywhere. So a lot of times I think people think I'm ignoring them. If I'm on my phone, it's because I'm putting something on there so I don't forget it. I just stay very organized. And like I said, everything we do is a team effort. And now as our boys have gotten older, they've gotten more involved in that. So we just try to balance all those things. And what keeps us motivated is just that we know we have an end goal and we're working towards that. And my faith, I think God a lot of times just gives me more time than I really even realize I have. Because if I start to think about, oh my gosh, I have all these things to do and start to stress out about it, it's like, I got it, it's yours. You help me manage it. And he always does.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Sean, with over 5,000 members in the Facebook group and growing rapidly, what do you think draws people to Homesteaders of Iowa community, and how do you foster engagement within the group?
I'm probably the last one you want to ask about that.
Well, that's why we asked you.
I'm not technically inclined. As far as 5,000 people, it's mind blowing. Because probably really, if you think about how many people visit your YouTube, just for a moment,
Yeah.
or our website, all these different, I bet you'd find out there's probably 50,000 people.
Yeah.
But that little number of 5,000 is mind-blowing. Growing, I'm having to learn some things about the internet that I just didn't think I'd have to learn. You know what I'm saying? To
help more people.
Yeah, my gosh, I just learned how to access some of these things the other day. I had no clue what I was doing. Ask me about something outside and I could tell you. Internet, oh boy. We joke, but it's the truth. I'm forbidden to touch my wife's computer in my house because if anybody can mess it up, it's me. Why do I think people are doing this? Because they recognize, that they can grow these items. It's been a lost knowledge. It's not been something that people took from generation to generation, but now all of a sudden they're going, oh, I can grow tomatoes. They just don't magically appear in the grocery store, or I can process this animal. I don't got to take it to somebody to have it done for me. Being self-sufficient a little bit, I guess. I don't know. that's about all I can say. And the engagement, networking. We keep repeating that. Network. A dumb question is not a question that's been asked. It's the one that, we want to help each other. You should want to be able to help each other. Because, go back to Randy, what he said, beekeeping, this is the first year I've kept my bees alive through the winter. I got 3 hives.
Yeah, it's a big accomplishment.
Yes, it is. Because I'm telling you, I've killed a lot of bees. So, but it's his networking.
We can,
So,
yeah.
okay. That's it. That's all I got.
We can stay with you though. So this is gonna be the last thing, but our channel has many relocation buyers for viewers who may be considering moving to Iowa or are simply curious about what makes the state special. Could you share your perspective on why living in Iowa is unique and what aspects of the state's lifestyle and community make it an attractive place to live?
It's a good state to live in. I've lived here. I've been in other places by far, and I returned home for a reason when I could have went anywhere else in the world I wanted to go.
Where'd you go?
Missouri. Been in Missouri, and I lived there for a short time. I come back home. The people here are different. Like Linda said, fast pace. Fast pace is okay, but you get into some of these big metropolitan cities, you just don't have that community spirit. Where in rural Iowa you do. Lots of different cultures, and we all work together pretty much in the state. You have your naysayers from time to time, but the opportunities are endless in this state, and our taxes are cheap. The opportunity to grow garden, we have some of the best soil, and as homesteaders, what our goal is finding a piece of ground to call our own, in an affordable way.
All right, Teresa, what do you think is special about Iowa?
Well, Iowa's it's just such a friendly state, and it's just there's just something special about living in the Midwest entirely. Just that it's just a safe, slow pace, calm place to live in. And in my opinion, there's not any better place to raise kids. So
I used up all my stuff before. I grew up in Iowa. Some of my chores were gardening, working in the hayfield, milking cows, feeding livestock. There were a few farmers that worked with my dad. There were 3 or 4 of them that worked together. One of them would buy the combine, the other one would have the wagons, and they divided up what they had to purchase, and they worked together. They helped plant, they helped harvest. So that's the Iowa spirit. We work together. We're a family. If you're an Iowan, you're all family.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Randy.
Our oldest son left Iowa to go to college and work. I guess he thought it was the grass was greener on the other side. But he gave us a call a couple of weeks back, and he said he wanted to come back to Iowa. And so I asked him why. What's your reasoning? And some of the things he listed was that the cost of living here is less. The air quality is better. Where he was at, he said it would just almost choke you. And it is. It's you can look out the window there this morning, and it's just clear out there, and you can breathe deep fresh air. He also talked about better education, less crime, and the last thing was the values that people have here is what attracted him back.
Yeah.
And Linda and I have traveled through over the years through many states here in the United States, and we just haven't found any place else that we would rather live. We love Iowa. We think Iowa is a great place to grow your future and your family. And Iowa is really very beautiful. Each season has its unique beauty. I enjoy each one of them. I like the green rolling hills. Not all Iowa is flat, but green rolling hills are nice. And there's absolutely no mountains here to block your view.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. And it sounds like there's going to be people from all over Iowa, so
yeah,
that's another reason to come to the event, is to meet people that you guys know Ottumwa area, and someone might know, Northwest Iowa. I'm not as familiar with, and Northeast, Southeast, or Southwest, So anyways, that's it. Do you guys want to do the businesses one last time? You can just go through them quick.
Okay, let me just give you a quick rundown of our speakers. McMurray Hatchery, it'll either be Joe or Ginger. they'll talk about chickens.
Cool.
And Joe Putnam, Premier One Supplies, I'm not sure. It'll be some kind of supplies. It'll probably be about his fencing or his supplies that he has. Erica Lance, she's going to let us know about freeze drying, and she has her freeze dryer, and she'll have some other things. Solar, Redfish Electric will be doing solar, and John Ewing will be talking about, he does DIY, do-it-yourself solar, and he also does homesteading where you are. Wherever you are, you can homestead.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of the city, there's something you can do. If you got 100 acres, there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kevin Anderson, Native Plants of Southeast Iowa. Randall Cass from ISU, Beginner Beekeeping. Dawn Christ, Sheep Wool Knitting. She takes it from the pasture to the scarf.
That's cool.
Dr. Rich Fetcho is a local chiropractor, and he's going to try to talk about something ways that you would be able to take care of yourself. So he's going to relate it to homesteading. Andy Forrest, Raising Chickens. David Gingrich, he does wood coal stoves. John Gustafson, he's going to do networking, which is very important, bartering, and I don't know what he means about real money, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
He also owns Bear Grains. He raises organic wheat, and he'll have some
cool.
of that here. Terry Hanna is at the Bloomfield Hospital, and she's going to teach about first aid. Sarah Holton, selling at farmers markets. Sherilyn Hornick, baking yummies, and she bakes some yummies. Pineapple Jameson, we've talked about her, about candle making. It'll be a hands-on, you'll be dipping candles. Andrew Joseph is our state apiarist, and he's going to do the next step. So it's not going to be beginning beekeeping, it's going to be the next step. JR Feeding with Organics. Tanya Kisling is Natural Body Products. Rachel Lamas, Sourdough. John Lagertman, he's a vet, he's a local vet, so he's going to talk about emergency care. So if you've got something going on, you need something emergency, this is what you can do. That was one of the things that people asked for last year also. Becca Miller it'll be too late to actually do hands-on grafting, but he's going to show how to graft fruit trees. I've done grafting fruit trees. It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And it gives you fruit.
Yeah.
David Mixter is doing seed starting. Patrick O'Malley, that's another ISU person. He's going to talk about how to grow fruit trees and brambles in this state of Iowa. Matthew Ott, Sean's son, flint knapping and the welding. He'll be at a vendor tent. Aaron Prado has furs. Faith Reeves, composting. Last year she came and she taught a really in-depth soil class. She didn't get to do the composting last year, so this year she's doing the composting. Becky Taylor will do food preservation. She has one class on canning and one class on fermentation. David Weber, he's our local garden guy. So I called that multi-method gardening. You've never heard anything quite like what Dave will tell you.
I believe it.
So Dan Whitmore, horizontal hives, another type of beekeeping. Each day has a different level of beekeeping, something new. Steve Yoder, he's going to talk about greenhouses. So there's your speakers. I would bore you to death if I went through all the vendors too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, if you're watching this, it's pretty incredible lineup, but like Teresa mentioned during, I think, part one, but you're going to have to really look at the schedule and make sure you kind of coordinate what you're going to go to and bring the family so everyone can learn, because I don't know if you can learn everything in the 3 days even, because there's so many great that we just went through. So if you're interested in everything we just went over, make sure to get on. I'll have it linked below, but make sure you sign up quickly, because obviously it's a pretty awesome event and it's probably going to fill up before too long. So, but thanks for the hospitality, and yeah, it's going to be an awesome event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.